What's up, y'all? We just got Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War, episode 36, man. And this is one of those episodes where it was amazing, but at the same time, it was so sad. Like seeing Mayuri, and how he truly feels about Nemu. Like, oh my gosh, man, it hit hard. And in case you guys want to reference, this takes place in the manga between chapters 640 to 644. It's kind of crazy because this episode focused all on the battle of Mayuri versus, the hand of the arm of the Soul King. And man, it's just, this battle was just good all the way through because I love when this guy fights. I love how he calculates everything and he tries to be as good as Kisuke, but he can never really be on that level, but that's his goal. And I like how this whole time he was trying to create the perfect being with Nemu, and we find out that she's the 7th version. All the other versions, for whatever reason, didn't make it. Some of them may make it past, certain stages in their lives, but none of them made it to where Nemu is right now, number 7. She's constantly been evolving and living, and it's one thing that Mayuri's been proud of, even though he doesn't show it to anyone. That's one thing that he's been proud of how long she's lived. She's outlived the age range that they predicted for, and she's constantly growing and learning as she lives. And I like that whole concept. It's crazy because you would never guess that just based off some of the situations we've seen her involved involved in when it comes to Mayuri. Like when we think about when we first seen him face off against, Uryu, and how, he pretty much used her as a shield in order to slash him, to slash Uryu and make him be paralyzed. Like you would have never guessed that he cared about his cared about his subordinates so much. But now that we know a little bit more about her upcoming, we can see it. He has that tough love. And I'm not saying it's something, that we shouldn't shame him for, because some of the stuff he did, in my opinion, it's insane. It's insane. But you see that Nemu actually, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but we see that she truly cares about Mayuri, and she wanted him to call her by the name that she heard when she was first born, and that was number 7. And of course he stopped calling her that and started calling her Nemu, and that's something that she didn't like for whatever reason. I'm very curious why she doesn't like that name, but you have it where she's just pretty much trying to figure out her place in the world. At the beginning of the series, we get a lot of flashbacks. We see how her whole purpose is to show him how much she evolved and how she's able to make choices and decisions on her own, which is something that he didn't tell her. Like, she's only supposed to act when he tells her to. And he's constantly impressed in this episode with the decisions she's making, because it's decisions he didn't tell her to make. And what really made this episode for me, what really stole this episode, is there's a moment where, you have Nemu, she's facing off against, the right arm of the Soul King, right or left. I'll be mixing up the arms. I want to say it's the right arm. I apologize if I got it wrong. But you have it where she pretty much sacrificed herself in order to save Mayuri and take down the arm of the Soul King. You find out that the Soul King, he's gaining the abilities and intelligence of anything his nerve touches. So, remember a couple episodes ago, he touched, Kenpachi, and you see that he's starting to get the fortitude of Kenpachi, and even Mayuri's like, this is going to be a problem. But you have it with Nemu. She jumps in, she sacrifices herself to stop him, and I'm not going to lie, it was a sad moment. But then you have it when the Spada number 8 shows up, and this monologue that Mayuri is having with the Spada number 8, and I don't believe he's truly there. I just imagine him thinking of him due to the circumstances. And you have it where he brings up the situation that happened with them in the past when they fought, in Hueco Mundo, where he says like, didn't you tell me as a scientist I should never, want something to be perfect? And to me, that's one of the best speeches in the whole series, if you ask me. That speech can be applied to everyday life. That's just how much I love that speech that Mayuri gave. And you have it where this Sparta is looking at him saying like, yo, what happened? You, based off the words you told me when we faced off, you should be laughing right now. You should be saying to yourself that you can create a better version of Nemu. But instead, you're over here soaking. And I don't know why. I just thought this was just such an epic moment right here. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And then you have it where, of course, Mayuri, he realized that himself. While you have the number 8 of Sparta laughing at him, you have it where he pretty much crushes him and says like, yo, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't be soaking over this situation. I should be happy because I have the chance to create another one. And I just thought that was such an epic moment. I'm not gonna say he shouldn't be soaking, because in that situation I feel like he should, given everything that went down. But I can say that this was a great moment for his character. And you have it where he takes the brain of Nemu. He allows the arm of the Soul King to devour the rest of Nemu's body. The remains that's on the ground, except for the brain. He takes the brain, and then that's when you find out, that in her body she has this where her cells just keep overproducing until pretty much the body itself explodes. They mention it about the past ones that he created, and that's some of the reasons why they cease to exist. And you see that he, I guess, within her brain, he gave her the ability to keep that from happening. And now that the brain isn't there, and the arm of the Soul King devoured her body, he's experiencing that because whatever his nerves come in contact with, he takes on the attributes. And you see that's what happens to actually destroy, the soul, or the arm of the Soul King. And you have it where he's walking off, he's holding the brain of Nemu, and as he's walking, he bumps into the rest of Squad 11, and they're thankful that he saved Kenpachi. I am too. Kenpachi is just that GOAT. And you have it where Ikaku and them, they could have finished them off because of the dirty things that he did in the past, but because he saved their captain, they're grateful to him. They end up escorting him to the tubes, and then that's when you have Toshiro, as well as his lieutenant. You see that they're restored as well. They were in like these healing chambers. They're no longer zombies. They're waking up. They're about to go into battle. And you have it where they actually thank, Toshiro actually thanks Mayuri for everything he done. And then you have it where, Ikaku as well as Old Boy, they thank Mayuri for saving, Kenpachi. And you have it where Mayuri says like, yo, they thought, a lot of people have been saying thank you to me quite a bit lately. And you see that he goes into the chamber and he's thinking to himself like, yo, now I could give Nemu a new body, and I could show Sosuke that I'm way beyond him. And he's like, I can't picture his face right now, but it's going to be a beautiful thing. And then towards the end of the episode, you have it with Rasby. It's Basby or Rasby, I always mix it up because of the singer, but you have it where he's about to face off against his boy, and that's how the episode ends. It was an epic moment. He just shows up, kills all these knights right here, like he shoots them all in the head. Then he says like, yo, it's time for us to settle things. And that's how the episode ends. I mean, it was dope. It was dope as hell. But let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. How did y'all feel? What was your favorite moment? Let me know all that down below, and I will catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.